Since its release, Kendrick Lamar's Damn has received a ton of acclaim, not only for being some of the best hip-hop of the year, but also for possibly being one of the genre's most complex albums ever. You may have noticed that much of Kendrick's work uses the number 3, with references to Christian faith centered on the Holy Trinity, tracks like XXX where Kendrick contemplates 3 murders, or Fear, where he brings us through the fears of 3 ages. The fear of his mother at age 7, the fear of death at age 17, and all the fears brought on by fame and fortune at the age of 27. But there's so much more beneath the surface. If we pan back from the individual tracks and take a structural approach to Kendrick's lyricism in Damn, we could see a much more subtle and complex pattern appear across the album as a whole. Try to imagine the album like a Rubik's Cube. A key factor in a Rubik's Cube is that the center tile for each side always remains the same. So let's imagine those center tiles as a hit. And for the sake of convenience, let's think about Damn's first hit, Humble, as an example. Humble arguably demonstrates all the trademark signs of a hit. It's catchy, instantly recognizable, and memorable. The difference is that the word humble appears throughout the album, similar to how other titles appear in the song itself. Your first reaction to the song might be an ironic one. Kendrick is no doubt flaunting his title as the greatest, while also giving us a chorus where he reminds himself not to get caught up in pride. The real genius here becomes apparent as we begin to apply our understanding of this irony whenever Humble is used throughout the album. And it has an effect like this. The sides of the cube are mixed up, and our understanding of each song begins to converge. This effect changes and mutates as we listen and re-listen to the album. This pattern appears most obviously in the last verse of Fear, where Kendrick is deploying multiple song titles at once. This web of meaning challenges close listeners to apply the themes from one song to another. In this way, Kendrick is asking us questions. Is fear a part of our DNA? Is it possible to have loyalty without God? Are love and lust ever totally separate? As we find these questions, it changes how we understand the album. Nothing is meant to be understood one way. Each idea has multiple sides. The biggest answer here is that Damn is meant to be listened to as an album. The components are singles or hits, sure, but Kendrick is asking us to examine the ideas present in each song as keys to understand subsequent tracks. However, these are just connections we made from looking at data from how Kendrick is using the literal song titles. There are numerous instances throughout the whole album where the themes of a song title may take the form of a verse or a line. And if you find those, tell us about it, because we're still picking this thing apart.